Assalamualaikum and hi everyone, my name is Rahmatul Huda binti Saleh. I am from class QBAA3 for subject FIN430 Introduction to Corporate Finance. In this video, I would like to discuss about what is working capital and its importance in chapter 7. What is working capital? Working capital is a financial metric which represents operating liquidity available to business, organization, and other entities, including governmental entities. Along with fixed assets such as plant and equipment, working capital is considered a part of operating capital. Gross working capital is equal to current asset. Working capital is calculated as current asset minus current liability. If current assets are less than current liability, the entity has working capital deficiency, also called a working capital deficit and negative working capital. There is 3 working capital policy. First is relaxed policy. It has a low risk policy. The firm maintains large amount of current asset coupled with liberal credit policy. Second is restrict policy. It has a high risk policy. Current asset is reduced to a minimum with a stringent credit policy. The last one is moderate policy. It's between relaxed and restrict policy. It will result in moderate risk and return. There is 3 approaches or strategies in working capital. First is hedging or moderate approaches. The firm financing its temporary current asset with short-term fund, while permanent current asset and fixed asset with long-term fund. This approach matches the financing duration and asset requirement. Therefore, there is no need for emergency fund and idle funds are non-existent. The approach results in moderate risk with moderate return. The second one is aggressive approach. All fixed asset and part of the permanent will be financed by LT financing. The other part of the permanent current asset will be financed by ST financing. This is aggressive approach graph. The firm will resort to the short-term financing to finance the remaining permanent current asset and temporary current asset. Current ratio is low and may be equal to less than 1. Last one is conservative approach. Uses the short term for every peak requirement. Long-term fund to financing average current asset, permanent current asset, and fixed asset. In this graph, it will result to the use of temporary financing only for peak requirement or when total asset exceed permanent financing. During low requirement, the firm will invest its excess fund in marketable securities. This is the end of my video. I hope you enjoy and thank you for watching.